Say what it is, what it ain't, what it might be, family. It's your brother Demon King with a quick word of motivation, inspiration, and urban ingenuity to help you navigate your situation. And we always trying to do it God's way. Hey, so what? I'm gonna just get straight into it. So what? So what? She fine. You know what I mean? So what? She's shaped like a brick house. So what? He got a six pack and he a certain height and he got, you know what I'm saying, a roughneck energy or whatever. You know what I mean? So what? You know what I mean? Because people can have these attributes and these very departmentalized personality traits, but we get so caught up in the trait that we don't consider outcomes. So we'll pursue something just because it meets today's social standard of what bad is, and you don't even know if this person has the ability to be complementary to what you need. And if you are a person who where your faith tradition is a very prominent guiding force in your life, sometimes that culture doesn't allow a lot of room for open discussion in modern times without clear, concise conversations that aren't tainted with innuendo, looked upon as crude or lustful. But if there are certain things, qualities like there are people do have deal breakers. There are 99% of the things I imagine in most relationships people can compromise. Like I don't need you to cook in my life. Like I don't necessarily need you to cook, right? You know what I mean? I don't necessarily need you to clean, right? Because of the type of mother I had, the generation I was born in. I don't necessarily need you to be an administrator. However, as a creative, as a man, I'm just using myself as an illustration, as a creator, as a man who is, I would consider myself eclectic and cerebral, a person who has a thirst for knowledge and information and political knowledge and arts and culture, without having it those interests being dominated by judgment. I'm very pragmatic, and I would prefer that all parties involved win. You know what I mean? And that's just my politic and my approach to life. But I'm saying all that to say that so what? We get caught up in these qualities and I imagine, especially as a man, I definitely understand where women come from when you're a certain age. You're 30, you're 35 years old, maybe even 40, and people wonder why you might not be married or you might be childless. It's the same for someone who may have been married and been divorced. It's not always appropriate or practical or pragmatic or intelligent to just jump into a new relationship or just jump into something like marriage. And even if it's been some time, once you get a taste of something that didn't go well, once you start to realize or develop new understandings about what something is versus what something is marketed as or should be, especially depending on where people get their social cues from. If you don't have time to really just jump right in and start to discuss values and interest and what you need, you playing yourself trying to approach dating and love life and marriage and commitment at a certain age. And after certain lived experiences, especially in modern families where you may be merging families, and pulling together existing relationships and molding those things and grafting those things into one another. It's not as easy as people think. And I think that we should stop just thinking that a man should pick a woman just because she's pretty, or a woman should pick a man just because he pay all the bills. You know what I mean? You have to make sure you address those things that are deal breakers and that will put a strain on your peace and happiness in the long game. In the long game, there's some things you can do without, and some things you are willing to compromise on, and then there's just some things that people aren't willing to tolerate. But at the end of the day, I hope those things are realistic, and whatever it is that you are asking and requiring of someone else, that you are able to reciprocate. So stay connected, family, to your brother D Demond King on all the popular social networking sites at capital D, MOND, capital KING, and make sure you log on to ddemondking.com. Still trying to hook the train up, man. Still ambitious, still at it, still trying to speak life and to the people. And remember, you don't have to live the rest of your life living and feeling unqualified. Liberate yourself. Peace.